My next guest, what can I say? Someone who's very creative with her own hands. You know, someone that can really make and mold something. I'd say a woman with clay. A woman that has really done so well in bringing her own products to market. Also at the same time, a mother of 5. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you a lovely lady called Nefateri.
Hi there, Mavis.
Hello,
everybody.
Good afternoon. Please tell the world your name, your full name, the name of your business and what you do.
Great. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Nsaa Nefateri. My business is Nsaa Nefateri, and I design and create celebration cards, gifts and stationery that reflect beautiful reflections of hue, colour.
Colour? Yeah. And you've got loads of colour on today. This every time I see you, you always have something different, and this is your own creation.
This is one of my own creations, yes.
Amazing. So it looks really good on the black.
Thank you so much.
So tell us about your own creation. What have we got here?
Oh gosh, what we've got here is a faux leather and African inspired print jacket, sort of bomber jacket. It's reversible as well. Today I've chosen to wear it on this side to go with the makeup.
And you made?
It's something that I've made as well, yes. Yes, I'll be taking it a bit further.
So you're a woman who's got the gift with the hands.
The ideas, inspirations.
So how did it all start?
Wow, it all started, well, the fashion started only about a couple of years ago, if I'm really honest with you. And the thing about it was I wanted to wear stuff that I didn't see in the shops, that I didn't see other people wearing. And the idea was just to make clothes for myself, and that's it. And the first jacket I made, I put it on Facebook just to show friends what I've done, and it kind of just went through the roof. People were contacting me, oh gosh, can I have one, can you make me, and so forth. So brilliant. I thought, you know what, I'm going to have to develop this because I can't be selfish, can I?
So tell me about, like, how does it all start? Normally people start from young with drawing, or like, where did it happen for you?
Okay, I suppose on reflection, if I look back on reflection, there have been elements of everything that I do now can be traced back to some point in my childhood. Mm-hmm. I think the very first cape, I think it was, that I made, it didn't look like a cape to anybody else, but to me it was a cape. It was when I was at college. I was 18, I think. My mum bought a sewing machine, had some fabric, and I just thought, let me make something. So I flung it together, and that, I suppose, was the beginning of any kind of creation. My early 20s, I was in the music industry many years ago, and so I used to make my outfits and the outfits of my dancers as well. So yes,
so it's a passion, something that's passionate about.
Definitely something that I'm passionate about, and always incorporating some form of African or some form of Caribbean or some form of, blackness into my creations and designs as well. Yes.
Whoa! And then greeting cards, mugs. She came with a really big suitcase, guys. And if we brought everything out, this whole studio would be full up. But it's really good to see what you have. Tell us about this. How did this start?
Thank you. Oh gosh, this is my baby really at the moment, if I'm really honest with you. The celebration cards. They started back in 2008, I think it was, 2008. I was on maternity leave, I think, with my 3rd child. And it all came about just through wanting to do something at home. So I started doing handmade cards, not for any particular reason. I just wanted to do something
like
creative.
A
hobby, yeah. And I thought, let me do some card making. So I started to make cards, just general. They didn't have any themes or topics, but I like to use a lot of toppers and things. And after a little while, I thought, I wanted to make it something that represented me in some sort of way. So then I started to do like sort of rubber stamping and colouring the faces in brown, images that represented the community. And a friend of mine came round one day and he saw a card rack in my conservatory with all these cards on it. He was like, oh wow, where'd you get those cards from? And I was like, oh, just very casually, I made them. And I kind of got a real telling off about, you made them and no one knows what you're doing. So that was kind of the wake up call for me. And he just encouraged me to go out into the marketplace. It was Black History Month, I think, and I contacted, at the time I was in Barking, so I contacted the local town hall, managed to get a stall for their Black History Month. And the audience, the public, took it really well. And it was like, wow, okay, so I suppose that's the birth of it, really.
So that's the birth of the business?
Yes.
And that's how many years on? So we're talking about...
So we're coming into about...
7 years on?
Yeah, 7 to 8 years
ago.
We started handmade conservatory. So yeah, definitely. So what happened was I contacted the local borough, and it was Black History Month at the time, and asked if I could have a stall at their next celebration. Got invited down, had the stall set up, and it was an amazing experience. The public really took to the cards, and like I said, they were handmade at the time as well. So, and the audience was a mixture of the
Okay,
community.
so people from all different backgrounds, which was good.
That's it.
Okay, so African-inspired gifts, clothes, fashion. Do you do anything else in terms of, do you upholstery? I can see cushions, I can see curtains,
you've tapped in here. Most definitely. I mean, I've already ventured into doing cushions. I've done a few cushions already, and I kind of like, I like this idea, so I'm going to develop that even further. But yes, like I see it. I see like the duvet sets. I see the curtains.
Wow.
I see the lampshades. All that is coming. It's just a case of doing the process and getting it out at the right time. But yeah, definitely all those things are.
And in a big, I can see it in a big supermarket, or should I say the big independent stores like Selfridges and in New York City, we've got, Macy's and all of those places.
Global, international, all over for people to be able to have that. Definitely.
So then let's talk about your passion. So you had the passion,
yes,
which is fine, which is great.
Yeah.
But how did you make it profitable? Because I see lots of people start something that they enjoy doing, but they can't really make it profitable. So how did it start for you?
Wow. Okay. In terms of initially, it wasn't even about money. It was solely the passion, and that's what drove me. And I think that's why a lot of the times I design things and I'll get them made, and then they'll just stay in my house because I wasn't thinking along those lines. But once I got out into the marketplace, like I said, and people started to want it, and there was a demand, and that's what made me sort of say, okay, let me at least go out there. So I approached several shops. I remember in 1 week, I think I managed to approach 12 shops, and in that week, all the shops bought into it, and that's when I realised, oh my gosh, wow, it's something that people
want. So you didn't really have a business plan, or
no,
you didn't really have a roadmap. You kind of just
tried it. Just put it out there, and that was the way I done my market research. People say do your market research. I would advise people to do market research, but mine was just doing it. And I think even today, still now, if I come up with an idea that the universe sends me, I'll create it and I'll just take it out there, and what happens happens. But it's usually always very positive and received very well. So I've been really lucky in that sense. So with regards to market research, I mean, I would advise people to do their market research. For myself, my market research is creating the product that I've been inspired by and taking it out there to the marketplace, and that's always worked for me. So that tends to be my way, and I think because I'm very passionate about what I do, I tend not to think about going out there first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in terms of making a passion profitable, how has it started with you? So I mean, you've been going for quite a few years now. Yes. You're actually selling and making money from it. Are you in like any particular, do you sell online? Like how did you bring what was the routes to market for you?
Okay, initial routes to market were going out into the community and doing the local market events, meeting the public face to face, letting them get to know me and the product. Then from there, that's when I then went into getting a business sort of plan sort of done, and building a website so that I had a platform, because I didn't have a shop, I couldn't afford to get a shop, and so it was a natural route to go down, have a website, because even when I was doing the markets, people would say, where can we find your products after that? And it was either a dead end or it was like they needed somewhere to go. So the website became like paramount to that, so it's the website, and then from then it then went into me going out into independent gift shops. I really wanted the independents more so than the larger stores.
And why was that?
Because I wanted to give something back to the community, and I also wanted, like, the independent shops to be able to have something exclusive that the major brands didn't have. I think in 1 week I must have approached about 12 shops, and all of them bought into the product once they saw it. And I was like, wow, okay. That's when I realised, this is actually a business. It's more than like a hobby now. People want it, and the demand was what made me realise that, a profit's coming out of this.
Talented with your hands, you had a passion, you turn that into profit, you're going places, you've sold cards all over the world, including Singapore, yes. And there's more to come.
Most definitely.
So, in terms of your greeting cards, what was that about? What was the idea?
The idea, is the imagery. I really believe that images help boost people's self-esteem.
Definitely.
And as a child growing up, there wasn't a lot of positive or images of black people around on billboards or just in general for you to see in abundance, And I never always really felt pretty as a child, because even like in the school playground, if you're playing kiss chase, I didn't have to run because I wasn't getting chased anyway, but just little things that make you feel really sort of maybe a bit negative about yourself. So it was really important for me. Once I realised or decided that I wanted a product that would reflect who I was and who, others were in the community, once I sort of honed in on that, it was easy for me to design and create. I just wanted to create beautiful images, positive images that would uplift, empower and inspire others.
Whoa,
really.
I love those words. Very powerful.
Definitely.
And then the mugs that came in, is that after the cards?
Yeah, they came after the cards. It was a thing that the images were very powerful and people were really enjoying them. I thought, you know what? Not everybody wants to wait for a birthday card to come round to have that image on it. So it was a case of, okay, what else? How else can I put those images that people love onto other things that they can bring into their homes now? So then that's when there was the birth of the mugs, and there's loads more to come from that. Placemats
what's next?
Things,
What's next?
Coasters.
I've seen some coasters. I've seen.
Definitely.
Wow.
So,
And what would you say would be, what was one of the biggest challenges for you in starting your business?
there have been a few major challenges. I think one of them, which most small businesses have, is the challenge of finances. I funded a lot of the business really with my own finances.
So you funded this yourself, like an investment?
Not straight away. It didn't come as one lump sum. Most of the times it's just tapping into money that's coming in, whether that be through work or those ways.
Put it
back in and invest it in that way. So that's really been a challenge. At the beginning, because I couldn't draw. If I go back to 2008, I didn't know how to draw, I didn't know how to use Photoshop, any of those things.
Wow.
And I initially approached artists with my ideas and sort of wanted to collaborate, because I couldn't do it. So I thought, you need to collaborate with those who can. And I met some fantastic artists, but one of the challenges I found is everybody's trying to earn a living. So although they're very passionate about what they do and they're very good at doing the artwork and so forth, they had to keep the roof over their head, so they're working full time and they didn't have the time to do the creative side of things. So I found a lot of the times I'd either be waiting a really long time for artists to produce something, and I offered to pay, so that wasn't an issue, or it was a case of, I didn't want to feel like I'm bothering someone to keep on asking, have you done a picture yet, have you done a drawing? So I thought, you know what, you need to teach yourself how to do this. So I taught myself, I got books and I just got paper and pencils, I drew, taught Photoshop.
Incredible!
Oh, thank you. And hence I've done over 600 designs since teaching myself that. So,
teaching yourself, so all of this is kind of self-taught.
Yeah, so I would, that would be my advice to people, really develop yourself as well. There's things that you can't do. Have faith in yourself. Just try it. If you know it needs to be done, just try it. And, it works.
Oh,
it really does.
Gosh, so it's great, as I said earlier on, but in terms of trademarks and intellectual property of your own products, I've spoken to a lot of people, and many people I speak to on a daily basis are quite scared because they share their idea of their product or their design with someone else, and some people will steal them or take elements of them. How do you protect yourself in that area?
Because there's loads of things you can do. I mean, one of the biggest things would be to actually source out those organisations that help you with that, and you've also got like the British Library as well. They've got a big section in there. Things like sending copies of your work to yourself as well. I mean, when you create something, it's automatically copyrighted to yourself because you've created that. But just for those extra measures, send copies of your work to yourself. If you create them on your computer, you get a date stamp and you post them onto your website.
Okay, so you could start off that way, and then as time goes on, depending on how, then you can go into the intellectual property, doing everything the official or formal way, or you could start that from the outset, which obviously depends on where they are.
Definitely.
Oh, so that's really great. And how do you get your pricing? That's another thing. How do you know what's the right price or the wrong price?
For me personally, sometimes I work it out on a basis of what I would pay for something if I saw it. That's not always the way to do it, because obviously you need to take into time the amount of time you put into the designing. Maybe also do your research as well in terms of other products similar to yours.
Okay,
as well.
So a competitors analysis or something.
That's it, and then you sort of weigh it out from there.
Oh, brilliant. Now, before you go, something so interesting.
Okay.
A mother of
5.
Not 1, but 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't even look like you've even got one.
Oh wow!
So you look amazing.
Thank you.
But how does it work? How do you? And your kids are ranging from what age?
They're from 6. My youngest is 6 up to 19.
Okay, so the 6-year-old would need a lot of attention. So how do you juggle this with 5 children.
Okay, well, you know what? My children are great, so I think I'm really
Do they help?
lucky.
Do they get their hands?
They get their hands in, yes. My son has designed a couple of designs for my celebration cards as well. He's done the drawings and used Photoshop as well.
Excellent.
The children help with the packing as well, you know. So it's kind of like a production line we have at home. It's a home-based business, and the children are very much involved. They love what I do, and it also, you know, encourages and inspires them with their own artwork. They're always contributing in some way.
And education.
Definitely. And then because I have that large age range from 6 to 19, the older ones do help out with the younger ones. So in the initial days when it was just me and maybe the first 2 young ones, it was quite challenging. But then I had the support of like family members who would step in. Like, it's really important that you've got a network of people around you, if possible, that can help you out in terms of childcare. If you need like 1 or 2 hours out at a time to really focus on, you know, developing something for the children, because at the end of the day, it's going to be for them as well, you know. So, but yeah, it's been challenging, but it's been fun, and they're very supportive, very supportive.
That is really unique, very different. So does that mean then you can have it all the time?
You can, maybe not all at once, but you can.
Not all at once.
You definitely can. It's so possible. If I can do it, then anybody can do it. Most definitely.
So where are you going in like 5 years' time?
Wow.
Share a little bit with us.
The world is my oyster.
Oh.
Like I said, from the online stores, as you know now, I've got customers who are in Singapore, in the States, as well as like all over sort of London and the UK. Moving forward, I would love to create a platform like the major brands out there, the major greeting card and gift brands. I would like to create a platform like that for the African Caribbean community, or a diverse community. I like to use that term, beautiful reflections of hue, because then it's talking about a spectrum of colour. So
which you're wearing loads of it today, and your energy, everything is just so amazing. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations for what you've done so far. So if anyone's interested in
definitely
getting in contact with you or buying your products, please share your website and contact information.
Yes, I will do. So you can get me online, the products. It's at www.nsaanefateri.com, and the products are also in and around London. You can find them in South London, East, Northwest, different stockists around London. Outside of London, Birmingham so far, but you know, moving forward, it's just the beginning still of 2016, and I get that right? Yeah. 2016, and I'm going to be spreading out further to the Midlands and further.
And you've got online, isn't it?
Online.
So do you have a minimum order that you have?
No, there's no minimum order, at all. But there's so much. There's a large range online, so you'll find once you get on there, you'll be on there for a little while as well.
Yeah. Wow. Well, it's International Women's Month.
Yes.
Do you have any advice you'd like to give to the women who want to start and grow their own business, but they face fear, because they're saying that sometimes when people or women want to start their business, one of the things that holds them back is fear. So can you encourage our women today,
most
or anyone that wants to start?
I would say if you're passionate, whatever you're passionate about, go through with your passion, follow your passion, believe in yourself, totally believe in yourself, and you can do it. That you don't need to use the children as an excuse, or not working, too much work, not working. It is possible. I'm just one of many women who are out there juggling loads of things, and we're examples to show you that it can be done. So follow your passion, believe in yourself, and move forward, definitely.
Oh, thank you so much. It was great having you on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
And good luck with everything.
Thank you, my darling.
Take care.
Thank you.